Good evening once again from the Holy Land. This is our fifth devotional from the Holy Land. I have to tell you, I'm very, very introspective today. I really did walk today where Jesus walked. And I'm kind of overwhelmed right now with the experience. Let me show you just a few pictures of what we did today. We, of course, all know Mary Magdalene. You know, Mary, well, she got a bum rap for years. It was taught that she was a prostitute. No, she simply wasn't. She had seven demons, and Jesus drove those demons out of her. Well, you see the floor on this picture? Well, on that picture is a mosaic. That is the synagogue floor in the town of Magdala. Do you think that maybe in the town of Magdala, that's where Mary met Jesus? Perhaps that's where he drove the demons out of her? Well, they're still excavating the town of Magdala, and this is part of that synagogue. And we walked all the way around those ruins. If Jesus and Mary had met in that synagogue, well, they entered from the same perimeter that I walked along. Quite probably, I did indeed walk where Jesus and Mary had walked. It's a little overwhelming to think about. Here's another picture. This is a sculpture that was done. I'm not sure which is up right now. I'm sorry. This is a sculpture that was done of Jesus and Mary. The town of Magdala is now a religious center with both Franciscans as well as Eastern Orthodox church groups managing it. And we saw pilgrims from all over today. It was a little overwhelming. Another photo for you. We went to the town of Capernaum. And in the town of Capernaum, we're not 100% certain, but the local legend in the year 300, when Constantine's mother went there, said that this house was where St. Peter had lived. And early Christians had taken it over as a church and they expanded it a couple times. But now there's a church built right on top of it. And you look down through this glass at what was, some people say, St. Peter's house. Now, there's another legend that says this is the house in Capernaum where the man who was paralyzed, his friends brought him over to the house and dropped him through the roof. There's competing stories. Certainly, it's a very old house under a very old church to St. Peter. Just one more for you today. I'm really quite overwhelmed. I really am. We walked to the Jordan River today. We drove to a spot where it was about a 20-mile walk, and we all went into the river together. And we did a little ceremony remembering and recalling our baptisms. Because most of us there were baptized as infants. We really don't remember our baptisms. And right after we did this, someone said, "Wow, look at that sky." And we looked up, and this is what we saw in the sky overhead. That was the rays of sun coming down through the clouds. Now, maybe it was coincidence, maybe it was not. But that happened right after we recalled our baptism. What's the lesson of today? Well, the lesson of today was how God uses such ordinary people to do extraordinary things. Simon Peter never dreamed in a million years he would be the first pope of the church. Mary Magdalene, with her 7 demons, never dreamed that she would be the chief female disciple, the first one to tell everyone that Jesus was raised from the dead. Now, I've heard these stories, I've heard them all my life. But I walked around that synagogue in Magdala. I walked around the ruins of that house in Capernaum. I can't help but wonder if I really did step where Jesus walked. The whole day we were in towns around the Sea of Galilee. We even stopped at the Church of the Beatitudes. I didn't put any pictures of that in. That's the mount where Jesus gave his Sermon on the Mount. I could almost feel that energy. Yes, I'm getting spiritually revived, but I'm also getting pulled over. And I pray that I can be as good a disciple as Mary, as good a disciple as Peter, as good a disciple as all of those followers of Jesus whose names we do not even know. Yes, I'm in the Holy Land, and I'm feeling the holiness of this land. And I hope for even more, that when I return, I can be a better pastor, a better Christian, a better disciple. Thank you again to you folks at Clinton Avenue Reformed Church who made this possible. And as I leave you this evening, I ask you say the same prayer that I'm saying. How can you be the best disciple possible, forgetting the past and moving forward to the future? But now I'm going to ask for your prayers tomorrow, too. Tomorrow, we've got a special journey coming. You see, tomorrow, we're going to be going into the West Bank. That is land that the Palestinians held before the Six-Day War, that Israel has occupied since. There's quite a number of checkpoints you have to go through to get there. Sometimes it's easier, I'm told, than it is for others. I'm told it's easier for white Christians to go through there than it is for Palestinians to go through the checkpoints. I'm told it's quite a process if they live on the West Bank but work in Jerusalem. So we'll see what adventure awaits us tomorrow. We'll be doing that, visiting with some Palestinians, and also we're going to be going out on a boat ride. Where? On the Sea of Galilee. We'll be going out in those waters where Jesus slept in a boat during a storm, where Jesus encouraged the fishermen, and where Jesus and Peter even walked on water. I promise I won't try that. So I solicit your prayers for tomorrow, and I pray God's deepest blessing upon you this night. Good night from the Holy Land.